Mini Grinder here of MGStudio. This is Hobbytips. In this episode, I'll be covering realistic deciduous trees. And as you can see, they are real. Well, not quite real. So let's go ahead and get into it. For the trunk, I like to use maple branches. You gotta find the right one though. One with a lot of ends on it, and it's gotta look a little straight. That way when you mount it, it won't look lopsided and tip easily. This one here is not that great of a candidate. There's only two major branches and it's nothing special. This one here, again, two major branches, but it has that kind of a curve to it. I don't know if I like that one either. Now this one, however, is perfect. This is exactly what you're looking for. We're going to start by trimming off some of these ends. We really don't need them that long. We're going to mount the tree to a 2-inch round base produced by Reaper Miniatures. And we're going to fill it with this fast-acting hobby putty and stamp it with one of MGStudio's basing stamps. For this, I'm actually using the Rocky Earth basing stamp. I want kind of a mountainous looking base. Now before it sets, I'm going to go ahead and put a dimple in here using the trunk of the tree. I'll glue it in later, but for now I'm going to go ahead and paint the base because I just don't want to have to deal with the tree and all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and start off with some black primer. I'm then going to brush on some dark skin, followed by some tan leather. Now we're going to hit the stones with some stone gray. And finally, we're going to highlight with some aged bone. As always, I'm using Reaper Miniatures Master Series paints. I'm going to go ahead and glue in the trunk of the tree with some super glue. I like the gel super glue. If your tree comes out a little lopsided at the end, it's not a big deal. You can just pull it off and glue it again. And now it's time for the good stuff. Oh yeah, clump foliage. This stuff is just sponge that's been dyed green. And you can use it for bushes or treetops, like what we're going to use it for. And it just so happens that it bonds very easily using super glue, especially to wood. What I like to do is I like to take two pieces of clump foliage and see how they fit together nicely, and then glue them together around the stick, and that sort of holds everything in place. If you don't get it to bond right away, you can use a toothpick to apply some more super glue strategically, like so. And then it's just rinse and repeat, one after another. I like to do the tips first, and then build out from there. Moving right along. You see, I'm just applying the super glue directly to the clump foliage now, and then filling out the tree where it needs a little bit more canopy. Just keep adding until you're happy. Clump foliage is not that expensive. You can get kind of a big bag of it for about $12 or so. I will say this, since we're using real tree twigs, as it dries out, stuff gets kind of brittle, so you just gotta take care of it. Luckily, they fix up real nice with some super glue. So here we are. After not too long, we have our realistic deciduous tree. There's some miniatures for scale. That's looking pretty nice on those MGStudio Terra tiles. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching another episode of MGStudio Hobbytips. It's what I do. And if you want to watch me do it again, go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe. It truly does motivate me. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow my Facebook page or Google Plus page. Maybe even both. And as always, don't forget to stop by our sponsor, BigDwarfGames.com. Until next time, hone your craft.